impact I would like to make moving forward? This is a question that with my clients we talk a lot about. And I would say there are maybe three categories of my clients who would look at this from three different perspectives. There are clients of mine who say, I'm so burnt out with impact or believing that I could make an impact and then not being able to um, make the impact the way that I wanted to. And therefore, I'm like dropping everything, or I'm not really wanting to pursue impact anymore. I feel so disillusioned about it. So therefore, they want to go for something that just keeps them uh, working, earning money, and being there for their loved ones, right? So that is one category of people. Another one is they feel like they still want to do impact. They are afraid or they are not ready to go and do something totally different, or they feel like they're not ready to dedicate or find out new ways to make impact, and they don't know and they're not sure about it, right? So therefore they want to find out how that impact can look like. And then the third category of clients who feel like, okay, I've been disillusioned, I haven't been able to make the impact the way I wanted to, I want to now do things differently, and I want to really get clear as to what is it, the impact that I want to make. And whichever the category you belong to as you watch me talk about the impact, here is what I would like for you to really notice this for yourself and reflect on it, is that if you are in the first category of people who feel like, I'm so burnt out about impact, I don't even want to think about it, I don't want to do anything about it, honoring that this is what's happening because of your exhaustions, burnout, emotional burden and labor that you went through, and processing through those and then making some decisions could be a great way to go about it. But also, if you feel like for now I don't want to even think about it, honoring that and keep moving forward to what you want to, or what you believe is what you can handle currently, is also perfectly fine. The only thing that I would suggest is don't make yourself wrong for wanting that way, right? Wanting to do things that way. And then once you recover and you go through the burnout and you heal from those, then the natural way of wanting to do impact may come back, or maybe it may not, but still not forcing yourself or not making yourself wrong about how now you're not that person you used to be, or you should have been, or you should be. All of that is not necessary, because it's just interfering with the healing process and processing all of the grief of all of the disappointment. If you're the second category of people who feel like, I don't know what impact I want to go for, and I don't know how to find out, it may take some time to find out. But the way that I'm supporting my clients through is um, starting also with what are the things you don't want to be doing anymore, or what are the things that you, even if you see the impact in it, but that's not where you want to spend your time and energy, or your mental strengths. It's fine to recognize that these are the list of things that I don't want to do, right? So I have a client, we were discussing it yesterday actually with her, that she came up with a long, big list of things that she doesn't want to do anymore. Uh, like managing people, depending on other people, problem solving for things that she feels like a systemic problem that even if you solve it once, it will not really solve. So whatever the list that you can come up with as to what are the things that you don't want to do, is okay to start with that as well. And then as we were discussing about what are the things that she wants to do, she was telling me that she doesn't really believe that she would be good at it, right? And therefore, she is not sure how to move forward. And I also want to mention here that I think because we came maybe from ideals of how big impact we wanted to make in the world and how we wanted to change the world and whatever ideals we had, and now whatever we want to do, it may sound like small or trivial or is that like I have several other clients who say that I have studied law for all my life, and is that what I'm going to do moving forward? That's not the impact that I thought I would be doing, right? I thought I would be working on human rights violations so that I would contribute to a better world. So whichever it is, not making yourself wrong for wanting things that way and continue pursuing it, right? So coming back to this client of mine, we were talking about, okay, if she feels like she's not good at doing this, so for instance, she was coming up with two ideas, right? So one is she would like to be personal or stylist, clothing stylist, I guess it's called, for women with plus size bodies, right? And that's one, and the other is wanting to be a writer. So can you combine the two, right? And the impact that she wanted to make is on those women and on the adolescent young girls to write books and novels in different ways than usually we tend to read about, like the, I don't know, the mainstream stories. She wanted to write something more specific and something more from adolescents, girls' perspective that would be useful and helpful. So she wanted to do that, right? And then the stopping point there is that, can I really do that? And what if I'm not good at it? And what if I can't live off this, right? So as we were coaching on those topics, I was also talking to her about how we would know about this until we go and do the actual thing. And plus, if there are so many other people who are doing it, why do you think you are not able to do that, right? So that's really the question that you could be reflecting on as well. And the third category of people who feel like, okay, I know what's the impact I want and I want to go for it and I want to do that in different ways, and that's amazing as well. The way that I have explained to myself the impact that I wanted to do is I wanted to make sustainable changes in the lives of people with them taking the lead role in it, right? So I no longer wanted to subscribe to saving people, to rescuing, or all of these things. I wanted my impact and my legacy to be all the humanitarians who work with me to know that they are so powerful human beings that they can live their life the whichever the way they want to, and they no longer need to compromise or sacrifice for the life they want to. And another impact that I wanted to make is helping humanitarians never be victims of the system, victims of money, victims of bad bosses, victims of toxic environments, right? And therefore, I was thinking, okay, these are the impacts that I want to make in the lives of people. And I didn't really, in the beginning, I didn't even care if it was one person or 10 people or I don't think I was able to at the time to even think about hundreds of people, right? I was like at the time when I started my coaching work, I was really able to look at, can I do this with one person, with the next person? And that might be also true for you, right? So in the beginning, when you are thinking about impact, I think we tend to get into, oh, I used to work with impact on this level, on this budget, and in this scale. And now if I'm doing this on a different scale, I feel like I'm regressing in my career, or I feel like I'm not really using my potential. These are the questions that may come up. But at the same time, if that is the impact that feels genuinely true and motivating for you, then I would say absolutely go for it, right? So in my case as well, when I was thinking about what kind of impact I want to make, I didn't really think in terms of how scalable or how big it's going to be. I was more interested in if I can do this with several people and help change their lives to the better, where they really feel like they are now in charge of how they want to live life and what they want to do with their lives and feeling that freedom, then my job, my impact is done, right? And currently, as I do that with hundreds of people and with amazing humanitarians who are doing it in so many different ways, I can see how those were the necessary steps for me to get started. And now I can see after 5 years, I can see what level of impact I could make. And at the time I couldn't see that, right? And that's fine too. And that may be also true for you, is at that time you may not be able to see the whole picture of how successful it can be, how amazing it can feel, because you don't have that data. But once you start seeing it, and once you start seeing how impactful this work can be, and I think I felt at the time that no matter what, this is what I'm going to do. No matter how successful or not, this is what I'm going to do. And that was a determination that I really felt all of the time, even at times when it was very challenging, right? But knowing what kind of impact you want to go for and how tangible it can be, knowing that can help you also move things forward very fast, right? So in my case, the tangible impacts that I really wanted to see in the people's lives were that they no longer need to be complaining and be dissatisfied about their lives, because they can really take charge of how they want to live life, and they can really feel this freedom to be doing whatever they want to. They don't need to be dependent on the system. All of these things that really ignited me and drove me, that I felt like, okay, everyone needs to know about their power they have, right? And that could be also true for you to think about, okay, what are the tangible impact that I can pinpoint and say, this is the impact that I would like to go for with other people, with myself, whichever the way. And that will also drive you through a lot of the hardship, um, and makes things a lot easier along the way, right? So to sum up, what I really would like for you to recognize is that you still can work for the impact that you really want to. You can redefine the impact that you want to. You can also decide not to go for impact at this point in time, and being okay with that as well. Whatever the current inner voices is telling you, it might be the time to honor it and at least be with that voice before you get clear as to, okay, these are the impacts that I want to go for. Here are my reasons why. And I want to make that happen no matter what my brain says and what the survival brain says and all of this. And as you start doing this more, you start realizing, okay, you don't need to be just doing things for the sake of doing. You don't need to be suppressing your desires as to wanting to contribute to and wanting to do an impact, because I feel like we humans all inherently have that within us, where we want to contribute, where we want to work on the impact. Otherwise, it feels like it's a bit of a waste. And in order not to make that waste, we can approach this from a lot of different angles. But you can also take time to rest and recover and heal before you start getting serious about what kind of impact you would like to make. Okay, my dears, if you'd like to work on this, absolutely come coach with me. I hope that you will really give yourself some time to reflect and also restore your belief in you being able to make impacts, even though in the beginning it may not look like it is possible. It may not look like you will be good at it. It may not look like you are someone who can do something else. All of this, I would say, part of the process of learning that what if we can challenge those and start seeing how capable we are of making impacts, maybe even bigger ways than we have ever imagined possible. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful weekend.